Well, I'm just being honest, just giving my full opinion.
Oh yeah, guys. Oh, I have heard of deep dish pizza. We just call it deep pan pizza over here. I just didn't get it.
Oh, sure. Likely story.
It's
Yeah,
true.
like you couldn't make the mental connection between deep dish and deep pan. That's your argument here, is it?
That really doesn't elevate my status. Now you draw attention to it. That was a crap get out of jail card I had there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
right back in the slammer
That
and
wasn't a get out of jail card. That was draw more attention to your fuck up card.
we got to bank this and repeat it live. Hold on, I'll start that conversation at
I.
some point.
Well, we've been live for 2 minutes, so
There you
What?
go. What?
So, okay, so I didn't get okay. So everyone knows I didn't recognize a deep dish pizza when a picture Richard showed, and I'm like, what's that? What's that? And both of you two, Nick and Richard, you're like, come on, what the fuck, Jesus, what's wrong with you? And then Richard goes, I know, right? Where did you find this guy? I
it's
pissed
a fair
myself.
question. I mean,
So damn funny. And yeah, and I just now tried to say, I just didn't make the connection between deep dish pizza and deep pan pizza, which I have heard of, which makes me appear no more intelligent whatsoever. In fact, possibly less so.
well,
It's
another word
okay.
for
You're a
deep is
teacher.
pan. So, yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. So,
Well, me and my low IQ will keep a low profile.
Aw, no.
so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we will just be having a bit of fun tonight. Kevin will not be joining us. Long-time listeners to the show will be familiar with Kevin's love of eugenics. He is currently on a book tour of his new book, Aryan Supermen Are Our Genetic Superiors. So that's where he is currently.
No. Everybody just keep Kevin in your thoughts and prayers. There you go.
Yeah.
He's having a rough time of life.
Oh.
I was going to explain the real situation. Give me some credit.
Nope, you just made him sound like a Nazi. Rude and disrespectful. Rude and
I,
disrespectful.
I have been
Rude.
I have been making him sound like a Nazi for like 8 weeks now. It's been a running joke.
Cool.
Yeah, so what really happened is Kevin had several heart attacks on Tuesday.
Whoa.
Or was it Monday? He was rushed to hospital. He had surgery yesterday. He came through it like a champ. And the last I heard, he was fine and in recovery. So that's what's really happened with Kevin. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's a legend, and we don't want anything bad to happen to him.
There you go.
Because, we're all going to miss his post-show lectures on eugenics.
Yeah.
We're stuck in the hangout with him while he goes on for hours about
His
genetic
love of Hitler.
superiority. See, I really feel like we should have just stuck with the eugenics thing, and not mention the heart attack at all now, in retrospect. Oh, well, whatever. So, what's been going on with you two?
Work, and then, I totaled my car, and then I didn't total my car. And who knows, maybe it'll be totaled again by the end of next week. It's a roller coaster, I don't know. That's it. That's my life.
You're not going to tell us the full story.
Full story is, it was 5:00 in the morning. It was very dark outside and raining, and there was a traffic cone in the middle of the lane, and it was on its side with the black base facing me, so I couldn't see it until the last second. And by the time I saw it, I couldn't swerve because there was someone next to me, and I couldn't slam on the brakes because there was someone behind me, so I just ran over it, and a traffic cone totaled my car, my 2015 car. Yeah, so that's it. The insurance company was like, yeah, no, it's over 6 years old, so we won't do any body work on it. And then they found out they were going to have to cut me a check for $10,000. And then they go, oh, wait, you can go to the body shop now. So we'll see.
Oh dear. So where did this traffic cone appear from? Did the wind just blow it over just before you got there? Or had all of the drivers swerved or what?
The way that the US works, I don't know how it is over there, but so like my husband who installs alarm systems has to put, like, he's supposed to put traffic cones in his car because he works on construction. So it literally could have fallen out of anybody's truck.
Oh. So that's how it had got there, you think? Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because there's no construction anywhere around that area.
Whoa. You wouldn't expect to see that at all.
Yeah.
God, I'm glad you're okay. So did the car just buckle massively as you hit this thing or what?
No, so the car I felt it hit, and then I looked down and my oil light was on, like I had no oil. And I was like, oh crap. So I pulled into the nearest gas station, which is in a very, 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 very bad part of town. And I had just a huge trail of oil following all the way up. I have a picture of the broken oil filter.
Sounds like you ripped the sump off.
Yeah, they think I messed up the condenser as well. And they believe that I messed up the radiator.
Oh, dear.
I found out that, so cars from the South in America generally don't have a very strong undercarriage, whereas if they're manufactured in the North, they do. And I'm in the South, so since we're not used to the snow and all of that crap, yeah, didn't have much of an undercarriage. Yep.
Whoa. Well, I'm glad you're okay though. I mean, that could have been far, far worse. Wow.
Yep, everybody is okay. I didn't hit anything. I didn't injure myself. I just injured my car, and my car is my baby. So,
well, you did very well to stay calm under pressure.
I mean, it was a traffic cone. What was I supposed to do?
You know, traffic cone is a nickname of mine.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah, for real. Well, that's the thing. I don't think... Oh God, I couldn't say.
Because it's triangular and red and white. Duh.
I genuinely couldn't say over the internet, and I'm not even kidding. I'm trying to think of a way I can ambiguously put something forward, but I don't think I can. It's not.
There's got to be a penis joke.
It's not. It's not autobiographical. It's more hypothetical. And that's the least you use your imaginations, the better. We'll have.
How can you say that? How can you say that after saying I can't say why my nickname is traffic code? How can you say, oh, don't use your imagination? What do you think I'm doing right now?
He's picturing you as a traffic cone up your bum, is what he's picturing, or at least that's what I'm picturing.
Well, no, it was actually a traffic cone coming out of his trousers. You know, that's what I was doing, not up his bum. What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying. I just assumed that the traffic cone went up his bum.
Could be on his head. Maybe you got drunk one night and he wore a traffic cone as a hat.
I'm saying nothing.
I think that I'm close to the truth.
All I will say, Nikki, is I say again, you're not a million miles away, Nikki, but it is not at all autobiographical. Categorically, I have never had a traffic cone and have no desire to ever have a traffic cone posteriori.
But have you discussed it in great detail before?
I'm kind of feeling he's protesting too much at this stage.
He's like, no. I sat on it. It was a total accident. I just
I sort of fell I was on a night out and I fell on a traffic cone. It just,
It just
yeah.
slips between the cheeks.
It's not. Look, oh, never mind. Look, well, I'll go. Let me move on to my other story. I also once had an accident with a traffic cone. Well, with two actually.
Okay, seriously, Tom, what do you expect us to think at this point?
No, this is
You're
genuine.
like Niki's closest. I've had 2 accidents with traffic cones. What do you
New
expect us to
subject.
think?
Totally new subject.
He stuck 2 traffic cones up his butt. His nickname is Traffic Cones.
Shut up! What is wrong with you? No, no. What happened was this. This was a new chapter. Turn the page.
Okay.
Damn it, you two. Right. I genuinely had an accident, a road accident with a traffic cone, with 2 traffic cones like you did, Niki. Here's what happened. I was driving to work and the sun was really, really low in the sky. I think we'd had the clock. Richard doesn't believe it's the different story, but we'll let him stay in his pure old juvenile.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Tom. I've shifted sides.
Good.
It's just like I'm imagining him saying, "Oh, the sun was strong in my eyes," and I was like, I could really do with a traffic cone up my bum right now.
Shut up, man.
I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
Driving to work, and the sun was really low in the sky, and I was like, "This," and it was. I had the little sunshade down, but it was still just above the horizon.
Right.
And I was driving into this sun, and there were some roadworks, and they'd been there for a couple of days, but I'd temporarily forgotten about them. So I don't know what it's like in America, but in England, when there's roadworks on one side of the road, what they do is they put a load of traffic cones out, and they put traffic lights at either end, and they stop and start the traffic going both ways, and both directions of traffic use the free side of the road. That's how it works. And and I didn't even see that I was approaching the traffic lights. I didn't even see the warning sign or anything. I just suddenly felt this thud as my near side rear front wheel, that's the nearest the curb, smacked into something, and I just stopped, and I just sort of looked and realized I was like surrounded by traffic cones, and I was lucky I didn't have a head-on collision with a car coming the other way. I should have stopped. I should have driven at 5 miles an hour with my hazard lights on or anything, but just keep going. I wasn't going fast, but nonetheless, I didn't know I didn't know that there were objects coming up in my peripheral vision that I couldn't see, like these. Well, not peripheral vision, I mean like where I'm supposed to see them, like a bloody traffic light. And so I'd smacked into this cone, and then this workman just comes over, storms over towards me, and I just sort of see him out of this blinded haze, and he just starts bellowing at me. He goes, "You people like you get people like me killed. Go on Facebook, look at the video. There's a guy died last week." And I just went, "I'm sorry." He goes, "Because you're not concentrating. You're probably looking at your phone." And he saw I had a cup of coffee in my hand. He went, "Yeah, drinking your coffee and not concentrating on the road." I went, "I couldn't see anything." And I don't even know how much. He went. He then just said something like, "Get out the way," and then I just went into reverse, and I just reversed straight into another traffic cone. And sort of my hysteria doubled at that point. I remember just sort of going, crunch. And I like
the sound effects.
Doubled down on the misery. And
yeah.
I think it was at that point I was able to start explaining to the guy that I can't see anything. I couldn't see probably. Look where the sun is. Look where the sun's right in my eyes. I couldn't see anything. He went, "Oh right," and he saw I was already just totally broken, and it would have just been cruel to keep kicking me while I was down, and I was pleading these apologies, and I said I'd go really carefully, but by God, I could have easily caused a head-on collision then, or it could have happened, and Yeah, so lesson learned. If I'm in that situation again, it's 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour with the hazard lights on and constantly beeping the horn or something like that. I mean, it was really dangerous.
Oh wow.
Just outside my road, there's a really dangerous my school, just out the front of my school, there's a really dangerous hotspot for exactly that for something eerily similar. Just when the sun sets, it just the angle of the street, the sun sets at certain times of the year at certain times of the day. When the sun sets at about 4 p.m. No, in the winter at about say 4:20, 4:30 p.m. when the sun is just going down, it's just blasting straight through this gap in the houses, straight towards people driving past our school on a one-way system. And there's these really awkward times where several cars have had it right in the face, and the road splits in two, and the main road goes forward and a little side road goes off, and the gap between cars just plow head first into the fence. One happened right out after tuition. We were seeing our tutored kids out who are behind after school. It's about 4:10, 4:20, and we just heard this almighty thud and turned around, and the car had just plowed straight into this iron fence, this old-fashioned iron fence that divides the road where it splits, and it's now been replaced by bollards, thankfully. Because there's been several really nasty. No one's been horribly hurt, but there's cars have been written off, no question. Delightful conversation, this, isn't it?
Got dark.
Yeah. But
Got dark very quick.
So Richard, your turn. What's your dark experience with a traffic cone?
He put one up his butt.
I put one up my butt, yeah. So shout out to the chat. We got SoFlo, we got Gabby, we got Frank. Frank says he was speaking to Rick Dyer. What about? And we got C-Mapped. Hey guys, how's it going? Let's see. I nicked a traffic cone once, because you've got to nick a traffic cone on a night out or it's not a good night out.
Oh yeah, what did you do with it?
Put it in my cupboard.
I remember an episode of Red Dwarf where they go out on a night out ship.
Where on earth did it get a traffic cone from?
Yeah, he wakes up and he's managed to come home with a traffic cone, getting absolutely drunk out in deep space. Sort of, I don't know how many light years from Earth.
3 million years from Earth. The mining ship Red Dwarf. And I know the exact episode that's from as well. So.
Have you ever? Do you? Oh, yeah. Wait, that's a challenge. Wait, stop. That is a challenge, and that is one I'm rising to. I'm going to name that episode too. It'll take me till the end of the podcast, but I'm going to remember. So,
I mean, I can tell you right now if you want.
No, don't spoil it, you scumbag. What's wrong with you?
You're not going to beat me on Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf is the one thing I'm a total nerd about, and I know every episode.
We've never even talked about it, but I am a massive fan too.
Well, it's because you keep sending me those abortions against nature pictures of your food, and we don't talk about anything else.
Well, we should do. Okay, if you name a Red Dwarf episode, from seasons 1 to 8, I think I could name the episodes that come before and after it.
Oh, you want me to name one episode, and then you'll name an episode that comes before it and after it.
Yeah, with the episodes immediately before and after, because I think.
Okay, Sirens.
Well, that's episode 1 of season 6.
Yes.
So it's Sirens, then it's Legion.
Yes.
Before it would be the final episode of season 5, which is the quite magnificent Back to Reality.
Back to Reality is not the final episode of season 5.
Isn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
I've never watched this. Is it Back to Reality Part 2?
No.
Okay.
Is it honestly not?
No.
Okay. Is it Meltdown?
Yes, it is Meltdown.
Well, that wasn't too bad a performance from me. One right on second guess, but I still failed. I'm sure you'll tell me I failed, and I'm an insult to the fandom.
All right. Let me give you another shot. Demons and Angels.
Okay, that's also season 5. I might need a minute to think about it. It's definitely one of my favorites. Oh man, I'm a bit. Give me 5 minutes on this one, guys. I'm not going to look it up or anything. I'm not going to cheat. I just need.
He's going to look it up and cheat. Okay.
Not going to look it up. I know. Demons and Angels is brilliant. That is my favorite episode. That is one of my absolute favorites. It's classic. Yeah. So
I like the bit with Evil Rimmer. That's my favorite bit.
Oh, that's
going to have you. Because I'm not a very nice person.
It's magnificent. It's that's a delightful. They must have been laughing their socks off.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah,
like the episode, like when Lister and Rimmer switch brains, and they in the outtakes they do actual impressions of each other instead of dubbing over the voices, and they can't get through the scene because it's so funny.
Well, that's. I know that one. That's an episode called Body Swap, which I think is
Body Swap
3. Yeah. So
Frank Smith says he was asking Rick Dyer questions. The world's best Bigfoot hunter and tracker. He's going to save all the children of the world from the savage Bigfoot. He's going to kill them all. That does sound like Rick Dyer. However, last time I checked, he was selling cars on YouTube. So. You can get into Red Dwarf if you want, Gabby. It is the best sitcom England ever produced, and I will die on that hill. Some people will say Blackadder. Some people say 40 Towers. No one says Monty Python's Flying Circus. Though.
You know what's funny? If you're such a big fan, why have we never watched it together? I'm just saying, maybe you're not that great of a fan.
But Red Dwarf?
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it.
It's the greatest show ever, but I wouldn't like it.
Nikki, we were going to watch Ghost last night, but instead we watched 5-minute YouTube clips of the world's worst drivers. I mean,
yeah, but you were the one that was watching it first. Thank you.
Oh, is that in the form of a question? Yeah, maybe I was the one who was watching it.
You were watching it first,
but I suggested we watch something else.
So why do we have to watch what you want to watch all the time? Maybe I was just totally happy, watching some people bang into each other.
Well, I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to rise above that one.
You've never even offered me to watch this show that you supposedly love so very much. Just saying.
Boys from the Dwarf.
Yeah.
What is your favourite episode of Red Dwarf, Tom?
Well, I really like Thanks for the Memory in season 2. And then it is Demons and Angels. I can't believe I'm struggling with this as much as I am, actually. Yeah. Which is poor. I know episode 1 is I can't get this quite right. I really can't.
Yeah, Gabby, Nikki, you won't like Red Dwarf. Don't bother.
Richard, I've just pulled out my
Gabby,
DVD.
I say you and I try to watch one.
Richard, we need to have words.
Just trash it.
What?
I've just pulled down my DVD of season 4.
Yeah.
Episode 6 of season 4 is Meltdown.
Meltdown?
If the last episode of season 5 is in fact Back to Reality, then that means I was right and you were wrong.
Oh,
I think saying.
Is Meltdown different from Waxworld?
No, but it's the last episode.
Waxworld is definitely season 5.
Oh, well, I don't know. Let's look at the little booklet inside.
Suffice it to say that my interest in this conversation has been gone for quite some time.
Richard, you're wrong. I'm afraid you're wrong. See, last episode of season 4. I was right. The last episode of season 5 is because I can't make sense of season 5 without Meltdown being the final episode. With Meltdown being the final episode, and that's because it isn't. It's the last of season 4. So my original answer: what are the episodes before and after Sirens? It is in fact Back to I think it is Back to Reality, the last episode of season 5, and Legion.
No, Waxworld is definitely season 5. The last episode of season 4 is the last day.
No, that's season 3, you tit. Nikki, where did you find this guy?
I don't know. I don't
Fair
know.
point.
I kept
Frank
him
Smith
around
says
even
that
though I didn't like him, though. You know,
That Richard
Jeffrey Kelly was involved in the Justin Smeeha hoax. I believe that. There were a lot of people involved in the Justin Smeeha hoax.
Now I can try to make sense of season 5. Now I know Back to Reality is most likely the final episode.
Okay, this is bullshit because I know for a fact Waxworld is season 5. So I'm gonna have to Google this shit.
man, Tom,
So
I hope you're right.
I hope Nikki, you may not like the show, but surely this banter is remotely entertaining.
Why wouldn't I like the show?
Okay, no, you're right. Back to Reality is the last episode of season 5.
Haha.
Fuck, I completely got this wrong.
Yeah.
Oh no, Quarantine is season 5. Oh.
Yes, that one I've got.
Okay, yeah. No, you were right. I was wrong. Freely admit it.
I think is it. Oh, hang on.
Quarantine's my favorite episode of Red Dwarf.
I had a poster on my wall of that. I can't quite remember all of season 5. I think it's Hollow Ship, The Inquisitor, Terraform, Quarantine, Demons and Angels, and Back to Reality. Is it that?
Yeah.
Is that so, Demons and Angels, the episode before and after are Quarantine and Back to Reality. I just said that.
Yeah.
Right. That's my night done. You losers can fuck off.
Well, you said that Demons and Angels was season 4, so no, you don't win. But okay, you did too.
Did not.
I don't think I said Demons and Angels was season 4. It's Meltdown, I said, was the last episode of season 4. That's all
I thought that was season 5. I was well wrong, but Quarantine's season 5. And Quarantine's my favourite episode of Red Dwarf. So.
But you don't even know what season it's in.
It's in season 5.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Quarantine is, yeah, it's episode 4, season 5. Yeah,
it's a quality episode.
Yeah, well, it's basically the show is it's a sitcom set in outer space. It's more than a sci-fi show because it's just really amusing and entertaining. The banter, the way these guys bounce off of each other, the trouble they get into, the scrapes and dramas. It's just a really entertaining, easy to watch show. Another really good one, Richard, is the one with the camphor wood guitar. When
Marooned,
yes, when they're stuck on the freezing planet. That's
your guitar was made of camphor wood. Burn the soldiers.
We're going to do to Lister what Alexander the Great did to me.
That's a great episode.
Yeah.
All of season. You know, to be fair, seasons 1 to 6, every episode is good. There's no bad episodes.
Yeah,
it just goes downhill after season 6.
Yeah, it does really. Some of the more recent ones have had their moments, but you're still ultimately, it's still like trying to compare any of the other Star Wars movies to the originals. It's just like, okay, so the best. So you've persuaded yourself that the Phantom Menace is okay and watchable, and you can.
I'll tell you this: after watching the last 3 Star Wars movies that Disney made, the prequels became a lot more palatable.
You know what? I'm with you 100%. Nikki, any opinions? Nikki, paging. Nikki.
I don't have any opinions.
You're not into Star Wars?
I love sci-fi stuff and I love sitcoms, but I wouldn't like We're a Dwarf, even though like the first 5 seasons are apparently awesome.
Oh, all right. We'll watch Red Dwarf the next.
Nope, too late.
No, actually, Richard, I'm with you. The base, it's really simple. The original Star Wars are just fantastic films. The prequels, the problem was Lucas just tried to be a one-man show, and if he'd have had all of his imagination just driven a bit more clearly with a bit more coherence in the script and bit better characterization and just better dialogue, then it would have worked a lot better, episodes 1 to 3. But I'm happy enough to watch any of them. But the last 3, the fact that they never planned a proper trilogy and they didn't really know where they were going to steer it, and J.J. Abrams didn't do the second episode. They got Rian Johnson in, and then they panicked and went back to J.J. Abrams. Just the whole thing was a complete shambles and a crying shame. We did, however, at least get Rogue One to be thankful for.
Rogue One is really good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Boba Fett at the moment. If you haven't been watching it, it's lovely. It's really good.
On The Mandalorian.
No. The Book of Boba Fett, or the Crown of Fett, or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the Book of Boba Fett. I like The Mandalorian, but I didn't.
I'm loving it. I'm really
The
enjoying
Book of
it. I haven't
Boba
watched
Fett
The
is
Mandalorian.
really, really slow paced, and he's just boring.
I'm enjoying it. So, and I don't even.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay with Star Wars. I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan ever, but
Yeah, well, it's I grew up on it, and I can watch them. I can watch them plenty of times. Yeah, I love them. So, were we going to talk about anything remotely topical or anything?
Yeah, okay, I get your hint. Go.
Well, I haven't got a hint, not massively. I don't know anywhere near enough about Vladimir Putin and potentially invading the Ukraine, though that is that looks. I don't know how ready he is to actually invade and start a non-nuclear war, but it's pretty terrifying prospect.
How World War II started.
Well, but I don't know. Nuclear weapons mean it's much more difficult to start wars now. Well, are we
And
still
in
in
them.
the world of mutually assured destruction there? I don't know.
Yeah, I live next to a military base. If we go into another world war, I'm dead. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm getting nuked.
Don't be tempted to start one just because of that, Nikki. I mean, I know it's a tempting option all of a sudden, but stay away from that big red button, you.
I don't get to try. You know, they don't let me near the big red button. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm okay. Gabby's got me all messed up.
Oh God, do you know what? What we could talk about, and this is hilarious. I don't know if you know this, Nikki, but you couldn't make this up. Richard, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to try and sum up what's happening with our Prime Minister in about 1 minute. During lockdown, Boris Johnson had basically broke his own rules and his own laws that he and his government had passed about what was and wasn't allowed in terms of social gatherings during the first lockdown. But that's
absolutely did.
all come to light. Now, it was investigated by a civil. It's been formally investigated by a civil servant, I believe, named, is it Sue Gray or Susan Gray or something like that? And she's investigated it, but it's also being investigated by the Metropolitan Police. And
Wow.
both of these investigations are absolutely, completely in each other's way. Sue Gray has finished her report, and she wants to publish it, but she can't because that will affect the ongoing police investigation into it, and so therefore everybody is waiting for this thing to happen. Everybody is waiting. It is Sue Gray, that is her name. Everybody's waiting for this report. People are demanding they see this report into it to show what has happened and what the laws have been broken. But the police are stopping that, and so being published, and so everything's in limbo. And yeah, both the politics are really in the police's way, and the police are really in politics' way, and it's an absolute shambles. It's really
over someone breaking their own rules regarding
over the report about whether or not the Prime Minister, what laws the Prime Minister has broken and how serious it is and all of those sorts of things. And the whole situation is totally loaded. So many people have but I mean, I don't know why it's being investigated by someone in the civil service. I'm no expert here because they're right in the thick of it themselves and they can afford to be anything but impartial, which is probably why the police are investigating it as well. But heaven knows what there'll be a political procedure that says the civil servants who are meant to be completely impartial, they're like the firm that run government that are administrators, and they're not meant to have any political leanings. And
can I just say that it must be nice to come from a country where that is the biggest scandal that's going on right now?
Well, what's the biggest yours?
Let me just shout out the chat. Yes, Frank Smith, there was an American pilot of Red Dwarf, but if you like Red Dwarf at all, never watch it.
I never have. It's meant to be terrible.
It's awful. It's worse than you think. Yes, Gabby, the American version of The Office is a lot better than the British version, but it goes on for too long.
Oh, well, the British version was good enough. I must check the American version out.
That is my favorite show of all
time. The
time.
American version of The Office is way better than the British version, but you can only watch it up to like season 7. After that, it gets shit, and it gets shit really quickly.
But the British version is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
the American version is brilliant for a good majority of it.
Is it the same sort of premise?
Yeah.
It's very much the same sort of premise, and the very first episode is incredibly similar to the original.
Like the first season of the American Office is pretty much a carbon copy of the first 2 seasons of the British Office.
Okay, but there were only 2 seasons of the British.
Yeah, but after that, it finds its feet, it becomes its own thing, and it's a lot better up to about season 7, and then it gets really shit really quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
But by then, you might as well just watch the last season. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'd love to check it out.
You should. I mean, sometime you have me on Discord. We can watch something together sometime.
Oh, I'd love to. I've watched. I stream a few things on Discord with my friend Nick. He lives in just the other side of the same county as me, not far at all. But he's really cool, and we've watched films. We watched Farscape a lot. That sci-fi show from about 20 years ago. We watched quite a lot of Farscape.
Farscape's awesome. It's so underrated as a sci-fi. Okay. I mean, I know there's only 4 seasons in a movie, but it's still really good.
Well, I'm towards the start of season 3, I think. It's right in the thick of this Scorpius business.
Richard and I have been watching the American version of Ghost.
That's really good.
We watch movies sometimes, like we watch the Ghostbusters, the new one together.
Oh,
which was really good. It was really good. I was genuinely surprised. Like, I was expecting it to be terrible, but it's amazing.
It did a good job playing homage to the original guys and
introducing new ones. Mm-hmm. You know, just don't watch it with Nikki.
Listen,
right?
I'm not.
Don't watch anything with Nikki.
I can't help it that you get all like emotional and I'm just not.
Just ruin it.
You should have heard me. You should have heard me during the last season of Lucifer. Like, I'm still cracking jokes while actively crying.
Yeah, no. I just don't watch things with Nikki. That's my advice.
And he still does, so he hasn't learned anything.
I don't watch anything that's emotional with you.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Nothing emotional.
Anything that could possibly provoke an emotional reaction. That's, wrapping everything up and making it all cool. Just don't watch it with Nikki because she will ruin it for you.
How? By crying, going into a big blubbery one?
No, I could deal with that. She makes sarcastic comments.
I don't make sarcastic comments.
You make sarcastic comments.
I just make little, commentary over, you know, outfitting and stuff like that. I don't think. What did I do sarcastic? Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. Okay. I was going to argue, and then I remembered the end of a Ghostbusters, and I was like, "Oh, never mind. I totally did
Yeah,
that."
no, you totally did that. Yeah.
I've been told that it's like a bit too heavily nostalgic to the first film.
Oh, I loved
No,
it.
no. It's
you like the
nostalgic
first
at the
film?
end.
Yeah.
It gets nostalgic towards the end. There's plenty of Easter eggs, there's plenty of shout outs, but it doesn't rely too heavily on nostalgia. There's a bit of a
Yeah,
No.
if you've never watched it before, you can totally just jump in
Yeah.
and be fine.
Well, I watched the original not that long ago. I
For
found
the first time?
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
No, I watched the original years. I grew up. The original was probably the first VHS film I ever saw. My friend Dave had borrowed it from they'd rented a video player. You could rent them instead of buying them, and he rented this video machine. His mum did, and then they borrowed a few. This was like 1987 or something, when players were just coming out to the main market, and they were becoming affordable, and it was like you could actually watch something again. I remember when that was a big deal, because it used to be you'd have the one chance to watch it when it was live on TV, and if you missed it, too bad.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to remember that that's how it was, but that's how it was in the 1980s. We got I remember, and my friend Dave got a video player before we did. His mum rented one, and they went to the video shop, the version of Blockbuster. It was a small business. There were loads of small businesses just renting video shops, renting videos and then DVDs before streaming killed it all. And we watched Ghostbusters, and I absolutely loved it. And it was amazing just the very event of you choosing to start when the film started, because I've never seen that before, that you chose when the film started, or when the viewing started. We'd never been in control of that before, and it's something we take for granted so easily now. And it was great. And then the second one I saw at the cinema, that was okay. There was the cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters. How cool was that, guys?
That was great. I love the cartoon.
I'll tell you what I remember from the first Ghostbusters movie, the Commodore 64 game.
Yes, I remember that. You slimed me in that really horrible, atrocious, brand new sound card.
Yeah.
How could a Commodore 64 even attempt speech?
Oh, it was bad.
It was bad.
I
mean, it was awful.
It
you
was
slimed
horrifying.
Me. Trying to get your Ghostbusters past the Marshmallow Man at the end. The hitbox was so unforgiving. It was
incredibly. It was a very painful game to play, and it terrified the mess out of me because I was so young, and just the sound effects literally freaked me out.
Ghostbusters. Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun. I always assumed, by the way, that Stay Puft marshmallows were a legitimate thing in America, but apparently they weren't.
Absolutely not. No.
No. Why?
Fun fact: my nickname growing up was from a Ghostbusters character.
Oh, can we guess who?
Yeah, absolutely.
Slimer.
Nope.
Oh, hang on.
When you hear it, it's going to be very fitting.
Hang on. Give me a moment. It was a cat. It wasn't Zool, was it?
Very close, but no.
Okay, give me a minute.
Gozer.
It was. Gozer. Yep. My parents called me Gozer the Destructor.
That's who I meant, damn it. That's who I meant.
That is what they called me growing up, because I would destroy everything very quickly.
Frank Smith there with the best comment ever. I want to see the American version of EastEnders with The Rock as Phil Mitchell. Yes.
Oh, Frank,
absolutely.
That is superb, Frank.
That's brilliant. Where would EastEnders be in America? Have to be on the East Coast, the east side of New York City.
I don't know.
East
There's a
was-
whole lot of places in the East.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
what's
is
that?
ridiculous.
Florida might work.
That is brilliant. Just imagine him in, glassing someone or heaven knows what else.
Wait, Tennessee's on the East Coast, isn't it?
I'm
Memphis,
sure
the
in the
east
fast.
end of Memphis.
Okay, first of all, Memphis is the west part of the state, and Tennessee is
Oh, okay.
not on the coast.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple.
So
of states. between
what's
us.
on the east side of Tennessee then?
The east side? Georgia's on the coast. Florida's on the coast. Let's see, New
Virginia?
York, New Jersey.
I don't know how far away from Nashville.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember. North Carolina, South Carolina's over there. Virginia, you're right. New Jersey, I think Connecticut, Rhode Island. Delaware.
Yeah, the American version of Shameless is another one of those ones you don't need to watch, Frank. The In-Betweeners, Shameless, the American pilot of Red Dwarf, the American pilot of Faulty Towers. These are things you never need to
they
see
tried
in
to
your life.
make Faulty Towers American.
Yeah, they did.
How dumb.
Yeah, it didn't work at all. It was awful.
Well, first of all, you can't replace who's in Faulty Towers with anybody else.
No.
Secondly, I just don't see where the concept would have went over very well with Americans, at least the humor part of it.
The American version of the IT Crowd, that one's shit as well.
I haven't even tried watching that.
I think in terms of American comedy, my favourite has got to be Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I like Seinfeld personally.
Any Curb fans in the house?
I've been told that I need to watch it.
Oh,
you would like Curb Your Enthusiasm,
cool.
Nikki, but it's too cringy for me. I like Frasier and Seinfeld. They're my favourite American comedies.
It's excruciating. At times. There's a brilliant episode in season 1. You know what, Nikki? I'd watch this with you anytime. I would 100 stream this. I've got the DVD and everything, and I can do it old school. There's an episode called Beloved Aunt, where he has her obituary sent. He writes the obituary for the local newspaper, but he misspells aunt with a very unfortunate typo, replacing the first letter of the word. And I'm sure you can imagine where that leads. And the hysterical drama that ensues at the wake and things like that when they're passing around this copy of this newspaper, it's just hilarious. It's a bit of a black comedy at times, but it's about a guy where everything that can go wrong for him does, and it does massively, and it's so funny.
It's really Curb Your Enthusiasm is pretty fun if you like cringe humor.
Yeah, you just have to see this guy making a fool out of himself over and over and over again, and if you're down with that, you're good.
I like it because it's got Ted Danson in it.
I don't necessarily like cringy humor. I mean, I adore The Office, but there are some episodes that I just refuse to watch ever again. Scott's Tots.
Yeah.
Diversity Day is incredibly painful for me.
What was the one you both said at the same time there?
Scott's Tots.
Can you give a vague synopsis of at least the premise?
Okay, here we go. This is how cringy it is. I'm just gonna. It's spoilers. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
So Michael Scott decided that he was going to offer to pay all of these kids' college tuitions back when they were a preschool or whatever Well, it's time for them to start college, and he has to inform them all that these are poor urban kids, and they've been working really hard because they think they're going to free college. He has to inform them all that this is not going to happen because he doesn't have the money. He just lied.
Okay.
But it is incredibly painful. Like, it is so very painful.
It's like nails down a chalkboard levels of.
It hurts so bad to watch
What?
it.
Because he does everything he can to put it off and delay it and
Basically, yeah. Yep.
weasel his way out of it.
Yep, and then finally he has to face the music, which is generally what he has to do all the time anyway, but this just happened to be incredibly cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one a bit later on where he's going to Mexico to build, and he weasels out of that I just can't watch as well. Oh, that's when the christening episode, the
Yeah.
christening, where Jim and I can't watch that one either. Just that bit, it's just so cringy.
Yep, there are so many incredibly cringy moments, but most of the time it's just really good. I don't know. It's one of my favorite shows. And it took me a
It
long time to
works.
get into, like Parks and Rec. I watched that while studying in college, and I was just like, I'm going to put this on in the background so I don't have to pay attention to it because I'm not going to like it. And I ended up just falling in love with it.
But there's not a single episode of Parks and Rec that I can't watch.
I agree with that. There's not a single episode of that I cannot watch either. Because it's not that cringy.
It's not that cringy. It's good stuff.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Parks and Rec, it's great, and it's got Chris Pratt in it when he was a baby and a bit chunky. I like him better that way, but whatever. But has him and Aubrey Plaza in it, and the cast is just ridiculous. Rob Lowe.
I'm thinking, nope, don't know him. Nope, haven't heard of any of those three people you've mentioned.
You've not heard of Rob Lowe?
No.
Have you ever watched The Stand, Stephen King?
Salem's Lot, he was in that as well.
Salem's Lot, St. Elmo's Fire.
I've heard of these, but I haven't seen them.
Oh.
I'm not big on horror.
How about Chris Pratt?
The name rings a bell.
Star-Lord, he was in Guardians
of the Galaxy, Jurassic World.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
Yep, dots joined.
No, not Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
Okay,
that's not
bad.
Let's not confuse those two.
Yeah, I'm with you now.
Anyway, the entire
One's
cast
good,
is delightful.
one's awful.
Okay. Oh. It's been a very busy evening at my place, and even though it's midnight, there's still plenty of evening ahead for me. I believe
the
it
witching
or not,
hour.
my guy opposite, he and I want to have talked about making some music together because he's got this gorgeous home studio set up in his room where he does all these funky beats, all these avant-garde sounds that he puts together. And one of these nights, I keep saying I'll go and join him and go and rock some tunes out. We've had to put it off a lot through COVID, but that's always been at least the vague plan.
What do you play?
Gary likes chunky guys. I'm in there.
I'm not. I'm a complete weed. I'm a wuss.
You are skinny as fuck.
I need to show you this photo of me in this American football team photo. I just look like, the guy. I look like the Rudy of the team, the guy who just will not stop coming to practice no matter how many times he gets beaten up and staggers off the field in tears. Just keeps coming back. Too bad. Anyway, there's this picture of me looking like such a weed in this, and I must show you. But in terms of what music I play, when I made my album, and if you can believe it, Nikki, Richard actually said something nice to me, and actually said something nice.
That first song of your album is fucking awesome. I've listened to it millions of times.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, Is it just that song? Does it nosedive after that?
Yeah, I mean the rest of it's utter shite, but that first song is amazing.
I'll take it. I'll still take that. No problem.
15 years well spent.
Game on. Thanks, man. But no, what do I play, Nikki? I operate a synthesizer. I play the electric guitar. I play bass guitar, and I sing because no one else will. And but 90% of what I did to make my record was done using a mouse, using a mouse and keyboard, a MIDI keyboard. Keyboard plugged into as opposed to a computer keyboard.
Right. All right. So you don't play like the guitar or the drums.
I do play the electric guitar. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I play the electric guitar, not well, but I play all the electric guitar you could hear on the record that I made is me playing it. Yeah. But the rest, most of it is most of the hard work isn't in the composition. It's in the production. It's trying to make it sound good and nice and fit all these different tracks into one thing and making them like hold hands with each other instead of arguing with each other. Yeah, because just you wouldn't believe how hard it is to make music. That is the music that you hear, how hard that is to actually make, and how hard it is to get everything working in harmony with each other and have all the different layers of the music in sync with each other, not in timing, but just in terms of the space in the music. It's so easy for it to sound messy or tinny or cluttered or a jumble or muddy. It's so hard to get it sounding good the way professional musicians sound. I mean, that's why the entire music industry exists. I mean, all these souped up production studios and things like that. I'm trying to make a record with me doing all of that, what people are paid thousands and thousands, what Bob Rock was paid thousands and hundreds of thousands to do for Metallica for all those years, doing their job, just on my own in my back room. That was the time-consuming part of making the record. It's not the composition, it's not the writing of the music. It's trying to make it sound good and trying to produce the album properly using Cubase on my computer. You've just got so many options, so many. But anyway, I digress. I'm falling down the rabbit hole again, Richard. Help, pull me out. No, don't kick me.
I'm just saying, the very fact that you followed through, you set a goal for yourself and followed through is something to be very proud of. And
yes.
I will never ever say anything negative about that because that is impressive.
Yes,
that you
thanks,
did it.
Man. Thanks, that's awesome. I'm really glad you liked the first song. I mean, what is it about it, if you don't mind? I mean, I do not. It's not often I get any. Often I say, "Here's my record," and I normally hear. Nothing.
I like high tempo music, and it's really high tempo throughout, and then it's got several climaxes. And it's just really good.
Richard just likes having a lot of climaxes.
I knew you were going to say that as well. But yeah,
you still spoke.
But yeah, I definitely climaxed several times during that song. It's a good song.
That's the song. It's an instrumental album opener called Magnetic Pulse.
Yeah, and I liked it so much. I was going to ask you if you minded if I sampled it for the intro to this show.
Blimey, that'd be quite the privilege. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely be my guest.
Right. All right then.
So, Care Bear, Gabby, Leah, let me find a link for you.
Oh, Tom, no, don't address her directly.
Yeah, she's my girlfriend.
She's Nikki's girlfriend.
Are you talking to my woman?
I believe.
Are you hopping into her DMs?
No, I'm just on the thread for this chat.
Oh yeah, just on the thread for this chat.
What are you accusing me of, Nikki? Do you think I could have feelings for anyone but you?
Oh, okay, you're right. I am the best. I'm sorry, I got all weird and jealous, and
Nikki,
you know how it be.
You know full well an enormous parcel full of wonderful English goodies is on its way through the post to you as we speak.
I am so freaking excited for this, and I'm having such a hard time finding things that you can eat to send back to you.
There's no rush whatsoever. No rush at all. You don't even need to at all, really. It's cool.
I might just send you a care package full of VAT-19 stuff for you and the boys to have fun with.
I don't even know what that means, but that sounds great.
VAT-19 has the coolest gifts, and we're not sponsored by anybody, but if they want to give me money, whatever. They have really cool gifts. So you're talking, they have like 10-foot gummy worms and like, balls that can bounce like 200 feet in the air and just weird sciencey stuff like toys.
What is
Nikki likes bouncy balls.
What on earth is VAT-19?
It's a website full of science toys and toys in general. But it's awesome. Like they have gummies, they have like a bunch of different little science things that you can order and do with the kids. They got strange stuff. They've got crazy straws that connect to each other, so you get like 20 feet of it, so you can, drink from 20 feet away. They've got human slingshots, which is like basically a giant stretchable band. You just throw each other around in. Like, it's just all sorts of really cool little gifts that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Yeah.
That are just fun to play with. Like, I'm a grown adult, and I will play with some of their stuff. You give me tiny hands, and I am absolutely, like, just a kid, and, like, I'm just going to play with it for hours. And all I need is tiny hands. I'm going to try to do everything with them. So, I might just send you guys a bunch of toys.
I would just like some white cheddar popcorn from America.
I will do that for you. I will send you white cheddar popcorn.
That's the only thing I miss from America. It's so good. Of course, Tom being a disgusting vegan can't eat cheddar.
So I'm thinking about going to Whole Foods and taking some pictures of some stuff that I know is safe for you, but I'm definitely going to add some fun dips because I know that you guys don't have fun dip there.
Okay. Well, but anything that you can send like non-vegan stuff. It just means my kids will eat it, not me, but they'll love it. They'll be grateful.
Oh, okay. Your kids okay, I thought you all were vegan.
No, just me.
Oh, you're not forcing your misguided ideology on your children. That's very enlightened of you.
They can and cannot choose it in their own good time. My wife isn't either vegan or vegetarian.
Wow.
Did you assign a gender to them at birth?
He's like, I'm not going to say shit.
I'm like, what? I don't know where that came.
Well, I'm just saying, you're not letting them be. You're letting them choose if they're going to be vegan or not. How much of a disgusting liberal are you? I mean, did you assign them a gender at birth?
No, we've just until they tell us any differently, we'll refer to them as boys. But if they choose, if they feel any sort of
he's riding the fence. He's riding the fence, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not.
He's not. He's just saying that he's supportive of his children and whatever makes them happy.
This whole veganism, hipsters, the whole liberal ideology is just endemic of the downfall of Western civilization.
Say that. Listen,
and you say
that as if you're conservative. Blah blah blah. Jodie Foster. Yada yada. Conspiracy theory. You're welcome.
You know whose fault it is, don't you? You just ruined my entire joke. Damn you.
I know.
You just cut me off.
It's the best thing in the world. I feel so good right now.
But you know whose fault it is. Jodie Foster. That's whose fault it is. And no, Nikki ruined it. I just feel bad now.
Yeah, you should. You should feel bad.
Yeah, that's...
I'm just trying to think of the most devastating insult I can say to Nikki right now. Give me a few seconds.
Really? It's taking you that long?
Wow,
I'm moving up in the world.
I'm just thinking of like the most devastating thing I can say to you.
I'm going to write this down. January the 29th made Richard speechless with hellacious burn.
Hellacious burn? You didn't burn me. You just robbed me of my joke.
No, pumpkin.
It was my whole thing.
Princess.
It was like my whole thing I was building up to, and it just took the wind right out of my sails.
Aw,
That's my feelings.
I know. It feels so good. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'll get over it.
Whatever. One of your ears is slightly lower than the other one.
Yeah, so is everybody else's. Go ahead.
No,
You want to give me another one? One of my hands
noticeably
is
so.
slightly smaller than the other one. One of my breasts is smaller than the other one. One of my feet is smaller than the other one.
Well, I wouldn't know about your boobs, would I? I'm not a weird
No.
pervert that looks at your
I'm
boobs.
just saying, right. Well, we can ask Phil. I'm sure he can tell us.
Yeah, Phil could tell us.
Phil can tell us.
I'm sure he's got it measured down to the millimeter.
I can't tell you how many times Phil was like, "That's a really good picture you got. I just need more cleavage."
How charming.
Oh, he objectified the fuck out of you.
He
You know, Richard, I don't know if you know this. When I first tried to introduce myself to Nikki, she had me nailed for a drooling pervert and wouldn't talk to me back for ages.
That is not
Yeah.
what happens.
I believe that totally.
No, but I
mean,
did basically go, if you're hitting on me, don't even try, and we're not going to talk. And he was like, no, I'm not a creep.
Well, that was a
So-
lie.
He's not a creep. He's a sweet man.
He's a
Try my
vegan.
best.
Dictionary definition of a creep.
He's the only English gentleman I've ever met.
Ouch!
And he's still not a gentleman. But
No,
he's
I'm
more
not.
gentleman than any other English gentleman I've met.
You've known me for 20 years. That hurts.
You are no gentleman.
I'm going to cry.
Oh wow.
I'm actually
You are
devastated.
Yeah, I feel so bad for you.
You should. This is how our friendship ends. 20 years, and now you're just like, fuck you, Richard.
Yep. Well,
Dude.
with that, I'll be leaving later.
Oh, yeah. Have you got to get to your party?
No, actually, they decided to pregame, got totally trashed, and since I'm, out any kind of transportation,
Oof.
I'm cool. Hey, it's fine because we both know I'm a homebody and I don't like to go anywhere anyway. So it works.
So you get to stay home?
I did, and I've already done all my makeup and I straightened my hair. Do you know how long that takes?
So you had to go to a party. You were willing to go, but they cancelled on you. So
Yeah,
you're
isn't
not
that
the
wonderful?
asshole. So
It's
you
not-
get out of it, and
I
you're not the
know.
asshole. That's like a
Exactly.
home run. That's
I know.
an
It's the
inside the park home run.
best case scenario. You don't have to go to the party you were invited to. And I was like, because she called me, she's like, "Are you coming?" I was like, "Oh, I don't have a ride." She's like, "I'll come pick you up." Okay. And
All
then
right. Well, I
around
guess I'm committed.
5 o'clock, it was I didn't have my phone around me because that's how I live. We're hammered. It was like, don't pick me up then because I'm like 40 minutes away and you're hammered. Just
Yeah.
call an Uber and go home.
Nikki Ruth steps up to the plate, knocks it out of the park.
So excited. Is that not like the best thing to happen to a grown up?
It's the best thing when they cancel on you.
Yeah,
so
when
you're
you're
not the asshole.
exactly.
And you can just get out of it and can stay
Yep.
at home.
When
Get
you're
under
an
your
introvert
blankie. Yeah.
and someone cancels on you, it is delightful.
It's the best.
It is.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm all dressed up. Gabby, like I legit have full face of makeup on. I've been doing it the entire show.
She's all dressed up for you, Gabby.
All for you. I don't have a bra on yet. So see, I didn't even put on a bra yet. So I win like so many times.
Don't have to go to the party. Didn't have to wear a bra. It's just, I'd buy a lottery ticket. Just go out and buy a lottery ticket
I
right
think
now.
I'm going to do that. Yep. I'm going to
I
walk
think
down
you
to the
should.
corner store.
No bra, full
Yeah.
makeup. One lottery ticket, please. Tom's gone quiet. Did we scare him off?
No, I'm here. I'm fine. I'm just having some vague semblance to an English gentleman. As soon as the conversation talks about Nikki not wearing a bra, I'm saying nothing.
If you think that talking about Nikki without a bra is anything rare, then you don't know her at all, man.
Right.
It's her
'cause
favorite
as soon as
state
I'm
of
home,
being.
it is out. The
Yeah,
girls.
but
are
not even
free.
when she gets home, like on the car ride home.
That's true. That's true. There have been times where I was just driving down the road, taking off my bra, like I'm done.
Hmm.
So, yep. I got my Mickey Mouse pajama pants still on. I was about to actually start, getting dressed, and then saw my phone. It was like, woohoo! I win.
I'm out.
I don't have to
Have to
figure out
do
what I'm going to
nothing.
wear in 2 seconds, which is great because it takes me
Brilliant.
forever to do my makeup because it takes a lot of work to make me look like this. Just it's not my natural state of being, the whole pretty thing. I've got to really like work on things, contours. Got to get rid of my piggy nose. This is very true, Gabby. Southern women will not leave the house without putting on makeup, but they will go without a bra. I regularly go to my gas station that's like a block away in my pajamas.
Alright. And on that bombshell, I
It's
think
time
we
to go.
can wrap it up for the night. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many.
With an actual topic, I promise. I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
we'll come up with an actual topic. I don't know if Kevin's going to be back, so maybe it'll be Tom. Maybe it'll just be me. Who
I'll
knows?
be here.
Go on, Nikki. Let's not make any promises.
I'll
You-
try to be here.
Last minute, I can't always make it, but
Well, I'm asking you in advance. Do you want to be here next week?
Tom. He ran away.
No. Yeah, he ran away.
That's a no.
Doesn't want to answer that question.
You said, do you want to be here next week? And Tom just like muted himself and ran out of the room screaming.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Can't blame him.
Me neither.
bye-bye, everyone.
Oh, he's still not going to answer you. See?
Yeah, he's still not answering the question.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to be here next week?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't even know. Yeah, count me in for sure. Sorry, guys. Oh, you sure you want
Okay, we'll return next week.
Sure you want a
Tom.
slozo like me back again?
If you're going to be here next week, Tom, what's the topic?
Yeah,
what do you want to talk about next week?
He always puts people on. Just tell him that you'll figure it out by next week.
I'll figure it out by next week. I'll have something good for us.
All right. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. It's good night from me, and it's good night from them. Good night.
Night.
And Disco Service.